Hey everybody, what's up? It's Lauren deLisa Coleman, and we are about to bring you another episode of the Inside series right here on film.io. Still during the Sundance Film Festival, we have a ton of different interviews to bring you. But right now, I'm about to bring you a filmmaking duo for a film called While Mortals Sleep. I have both the producer with me, who is Matthew James Reilly, welcome, and the director, Alex Fofonoff, who is joining him. And you guys, thanks for joining us. We had a little slight technical difficulties before, but we're all good now. So who wants to kick it off for me by giving the viewers a synopsis of While Mortals Sleep? And I will say this is like kind of scary, thrillerish, whatever, right? Which is like kind of my vibe. So go for it.
Why don't we let Alex do it? And by the way, you nailed his last name. Very nice.
It's a fun spooky one. The general synopsis is when a cold case novelist's career implodes, she seeks refuge at her friend's vacation home. But when she gets there, there's this odd couple who claim to be the caretakers. And as tensions build, a dark secret begins to emerge, and she realizes there's a lot more going on than they're saying there is.
And you know, it always has to be the vacation home, right? We love that, right? I don't know where to begin. There's so many like different questions, right? So first of all, I guess, well, tell me how you guys actually connected.
So Alex and I have been friends for a while. We both went to NYU together.
Oh, cool.
I've always been a huge fan of his work. Alex is a filmmaker I would describe as someone who is incredibly passionate about the genres that he wants to tell stories in. And that's always been very inspiring to me. On a side note, kind of our personal, not working relationship, but friendship really blossomed from us playing Magic the Gathering together. And I think a lot of the kind of creaturey aspects in Fof's work kind of take some notes from that a little bit. But yeah, I have a production company based in New York called Video Horse Films, and we're always looking to work with new filmmakers and bring new visions to life. And I read the script. Fof was working on the movie in LA, and I said, this is amazing. I want to be a part of it. I want to help get this made. And Fof was nice enough to have me.
That's just so great. Now, Alex, say bad things about him. Like,
Matt,
he was so complimentary to you. Come on.
Matt covered a lot of it, but yeah, we met in film school at NYU, and he's always been such a great friend and so supportive, and has great, is a great filmmaker in his own right with great taste. And we've always, we've seen a lot of wonderful movies together, and I really just needed a ride or die producer on this project who was going to stand by me because I had some ambitious things I wanted to pull off. And Matt said, "I got you, man. I'm there."
That's
also
great.
You may hear Matt refer to me as Fof in this interview, and Fof is my nickname, a short version of Fofonoff, if you will.
Well, you have to. That's obligatory with the last name Fofonoff.
Yeah,
come on, it has to be Fof, and you got to have like the license plate on the Bentley that says that and everything else, right? Come on,
We'll get there.
So tell me a little bit about like kind of the development of this story, because I feel like it's very tight and it's very well done. Obviously, these types of things can sometimes, no disrespect to Lifetime, but I watch a Lifetime movie every now and then, and you know what I mean? You already know what's going to happen, and it's all kind of all over the place. It's not easy to, do something in this particular genre. How do you guys, like, what's the secret sauce around that? Or do you have one? Was it just like write, a million different, rewrites, or what?
We definitely worked on the script a lot. Matt really helped push me to find the right ending. Sometimes I can have trouble leaning into the genre. And that ending kind of church sequence with all the hypnotized folks, Matt really pushed me to get there. But I think a big part of it was really, knowing the genre and then saying, how can I play with it? How can I get people to expect one thing and then flip that upside down, So kind of having the story open is almost a drama, like a very, this just uncomfortable tension of these people, this woman who's expected to be alone, and there are people there, but there's nothing obviously supernatural going on. But then when it takes that turn, it turns so hard that it's I think a really fun surprise as a viewer. You're like, oh, there's something weird going on here, but you don't necessarily expect there to be a cosmic baby, that's bringing about a new reality.
No, probably not one's first thought, right?
Yeah.
Well, would you say it's maybe I don't know, good luck or good luck charm having Matthew, because Matthew, you've already won an award before at Cannes Film Festival. So I think just never do any films without Matthew, or no, what's the story? Now, what was that like, Matthew? Because that was actually your debut project, and not bad, right, for a debut project.
Yeah, that was a very rewarding experience. You've done your research. I didn't realize we were going to be talking about this, but that was.
Well, you gotta give you props, huh?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So that was actually my thesis film at NYU, and a very different story than the one we're telling here with While Mortals Sleep. But going to festivals. We're so fortunate as filmmakers to have that opportunity to have these networks where we can go and showcase our work. And I was so lucky to be able to do that with mine. And I know we're kind of in different times right now, especially with Sundance being all virtual, but I still think it's just so important to have these festivals so that filmmakers have this outlet to meet new filmmakers, it's not just so much about the networking of meeting the financiers, the developers, people who could get your next project made, but just meeting the fellow filmmakers that inspire you and building relationships there. And that has been my biggest takeaway over the last decade of going to film festivals, starting with my debut at Cannes.
How interesting. When I did interviews of filmmakers during the Venice Film Festival, that was just echoed, throughout, especially, of course, after the pandemic. Well, I don't know if there is an after, but you know what I mean? At that point in it, that people filmmakers were really most excited about being able to talk to other filmmakers. And you could just see the excitement on their faces, which was very, very, very nice.
Yeah.
But yes, like you said, this is a different scenario with this film festival, changed up, I think they tried, to give it all that they could. And, that's why things changed at the very last moment. But as I was saying to a filmmaker just before you guys, because I believe it's the same genre, what I like about, or many things I like about Sundance, but, the fact that this type of film is usually, were you guys going to be in the midnight showing too?
Yeah.
Where it's super scary and everybody's, it's just a certain mood and a certain vibe for, the audience that comes out for these particular films. So tell me a little bit maybe about the most challenging thing around this film and how you guys kind of maybe met that challenge, or was it just really, very, very demanding from beginning to end?
I've got to say overall, it was as challenging as making any movie is, but on set, besides a few things here and there, it ran really smoothly. It was a really uneventful shoot, and there was a really good vibe on set the whole time. Everyone felt taken care of and respected and just committed to making something really special. And that was great. But besides that, shooting on 16 millimeter was very scary for me. As self-funding the movie, I was like, wow, my movie is just inside these cans, and I really hope nothing happens to it. And I know film is resilient, but when you're making the movie and that's all you have, it feels a lot different. And my cinematographer had to keep saying to me over and over again, they dropped a camera out of a plane for Dunkirk, your movie will be fine.
That's so funny.
Okay.
It's a good line.
So of course that leads me to, ask, well, why did you decide on 16 millimeter then? That you just wanted that particular like look, or what's the story?
That was definitely a part of it. I really wanted that. I love like 70s era horror. I really wanted that 4:3 16 millimeter feel. I think we're getting to a point where 35 and high-end digital look pretty similar, but 16 still has this very special glow to it. There's something really unique about 16 that doesn't feel like it can be replicated as easily.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Was it hard to convince Matthew of the value of that, or was he like right on board from the very beginning and producer? Or was he like, dude, if this all like disappears as a producer, you're on your own? What was it like?
No, it's funny you asked that, because I was going to chime in and say it definitely took me a little bit of convincing.
Really?
I was I wouldn't say I was for shooting on film. I've just worked on a lot of independent shorts over the years that have shot on film, and it's always been a stressful process. There's led to errors. It never looks the way you kind of hope it'll look sometimes, but I am so glad that Alex was committed and challenged me, and we went with film, because I feel like it gave the short this amazingly like beautiful like grit to it, and that you can't replicate digitally, even with filters in the post-production process. And really, if you're working with amazing professionals like we had on our movie, our cinematographer, Lydia, was absolutely amazingly competent working with film. We had amazing camera operators and assistant camera operators. And when you have everyone doing the right things that film needs, it's going to look amazing. It's going to be well worth it. And thankfully we had that. With the exception of a maybe slightly rickety camera that we were shooting on, which was graciously donated by Panavision, but still maybe not the most top of the line model. So there were some moments where we were having some film jams on set, and that was always stressful, but still worth it.
Well, it sounds like so part of the formula is if you decide to go 16 millimeter, just make sure that you have a kick-ass team.
Exactly.
Around you can do it, but you just have to make sure, and a little bit of hand holding as well. Sounds like from Alex.
We did.
Yeah.
So what is like the way that, or what are the different ways that everybody can follow you guys, stay on top of the film, what your next projects are, what's social websites, et cetera?
Man, you can take this one.
Sure. So I'd say the main one to follow kind of updates on what we're doing as a team is to follow us on Instagram at videohorsefilms.com. That's the production company I now share with Alex. And
it's spelled just like it sounds. Video
It's spelled just like it sounds. Hopefully the editor can right here put a nice big flashing
Wait a second. He's
logo.
I love how you're producing this episode. Go for it, Matthew.
It says at Video Horse Films, maybe with like a little spin effects and a little whoosh sound. No, that's a great way to follow us. You go to our website, videohorsefilms.com. And there you can find the movie's main website, which is whilemortalsleepfilm.com. And then you could follow our own personal handles at LaFof. That's LA_FOAF. Alex is actually in the process right now of doing his own very cool little viral marketing campaign for Sundance, posting some really amazing how to care for your alien cosmic horror baby videos.
Love it.
Very fun.
And it's very fun stuff. And then you could follow me at Tex-Mex. But yeah, I would say stick with our main business handles at Video Horse Films.
Okay.
To find all the movie updates.
Yeah.
So anything else that you guys want to add before we wrap up, or anything that, you can reveal that you're working on next? Or
I mean, I would just like to add that, so many people made this movie so great, and I want to thank all of them. Like, I feel like this was a really wonderful experience where at every point in the process, every kind of person I worked with really added something, really added a dimension to the film that I hadn't envisioned before. And it was just such an amazing collaborative process. And I just am so happy that like we all get to share in people loving this movie and loving this baby puppet together. It just feels very special.
That's so nice. It just seems like you guys had such a smooth birth and delivery. That is just,
it was.
We definitely
pretty much
did.
that's it. You know, no epidurals or anything. Just like, yep, we're making this film and it turned out great, and now we're at Sundance, and that's about it. I mean, it just sounds like it was just written in the stars.
Yeah, and then the next thing I'm hoping to do with Matt, of course, is a feature version of the short that is set on Cape Cod in a kind of bleak coastal village town during the winter. And
of course it has to be winter, and of course it has to be bleak. Make it scary, yeah.
Oh yeah. Lots of sludge in it. Lots of sludge.
Still 16 millimeter or what?
I mean, that would be awesome. We'll see what the budget allows.
Just see what you give Matthew maybe a few cocktails first.
I'd go for it.
Then move into the 16 millimeter conversation.
But yeah, just to echo what Alex is saying, I know every filmmaker wants to say this, but really our team was so great. We're so thankful for them. No movie is made by just one person. It's made by a whole village and community. And our movie is definitely an example of that. And just want to thank everyone at Sundance, all the programmers, directors. I know this is a stressful experience adjusting kind of last minute from IRL to virtual. And we admire their hard work. And we're so grateful to be a part of this festival.
Yeah,
that's great. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time. I hope that there's nothing but great response, to the film. And I'm just really glad that we were able to speak with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
it was great chatting with you.
I'm glad I stalked a little bit. Because you guys know how I am. Like, what's that like? Wait, I think they're going to do this. I don't know, but I have to be on top of it.
Well, that's how you get stuff done in this industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for responding back. And you guys, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. We've got tons more interviews to come, all from the Sundance Film Festival. I am Lauren deLisa Coleman, and this is the Inside Series for Film.io.